I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am.
I'm not perfect. Even at my best, I don't deserve him. When everything's a mess under the surface, he never makes me feel ashamed. When I'm hurting, he handles every question in the searching. Even when I wonder if he's working, he takes all of the fear away. So when you think that you're stuck in the place you're standing, he sees everything that you're gonna be. He's healing every lie you believe. He sees you, he sees you, oh, and he knows your future, so he's pulling you close. He is your defender, I know. He sees you, oh. Different voices have tried to label you just by your choices. I am here to tell you that you're chosen. His love's calling out your name.
There we go.
So when you think that you're stuck in the place you're standing, he sees everything that you're gonna be. He's healing every lie you believe.
All right, welcome to Step Out. Welcome back. If you're first time here, we welcome you in to join in with us, to leave comments, to say interact, because this is what this is about, interacting. We getting to know one another. We want to bring this sister circle closed in a little bit, and not really too closed in, but we want to be open to other young ladies and other butterflies who want to join in. For those that are new, welcome to Step Out. This is we've been going for a good while now, since the end of August, since our launch in August, and since then it's been magnificent, reaching out to different ladies. I asked those that are now, those that I can share it with someone. Share the Step Out page with someone. Share contact info, swap numbers, whatever it is that you need to do. But let's make this circle bigger than what it is. All right. All right. So cup of house cleaning before we get into boundaries. That is our discussion. Our topic for the month of November. It is boundaries. So I'm really, really excited to get off into it, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself because I'm so excited. I'm really so excited to be here again and to be able to talk with you all and just to share some input, just to give you a little bit of insight. And those that, like I said, this is an interactive. So if you have some of the things that you want to input or ask questions, this is the space for it. There is no judgment. There is no, ridicule, no, none of that. This is the open and a safe space for you to talk about whatever it is. And we can talk about it with each other, build together, grow together, be stronger together. All right. All right. So I don't know how many are still working on the self-care bingo cards. Hopefully you're almost through. I believe I am finished. So I am going to be starting on the Step Out bingo page, which is if you checked out the Step Out TikTok or the Instagram page, you will see that I posted a little dance, because why not? Like, we should be able to just dance. Dancing is a form of like letting go of things too. And I enjoy dancing. Am I very good at it? Don't know. But it's between me and the Father and how I choose to release the anxieties and the stress of the day. I encourage you all to dance a little bit. It's okay. In the comfort of your own home, in the shower, when in your room, wherever it is, I encourage you to dance. I will encourage everybody to dance. So, as I always do, I don't try to go ahead of you all. So as you're doing it, I'm doing it, right? So I have danced on my new Step Out bingo card. Let's see what else I have done. I have not yet engaged in a new hobby, so I have not done that just yet. I'm still working on the butterfly show. I'm still no. Hopefully by next event I'll have one done. I'm working on it. But I believe in taking the mental health breaks that you need. I tried a new restaurant with one of my sisters. It didn't turn out too well, but it was okay. I did try something new, so I'm grateful for that. Let's see what else. Played a game, took a mental health day, picked up a new book. I did pick up a new book, which I will share. I'm sharing in the coming up with as we begin to discuss boundaries. Took a relaxing bath, checking off on that. And as you continue to do them, just continue to yes, it is. It's a lot. It's a little bit more challenging. So, we go get there though. Together we go get there. We go get there together, right? I'm excited. I said I was going to visit a museum soon. I think probably for the fall break that's coming up. But always learn how to take care of yourself, right? Self-care is really, really, really important. It's okay. Slow and steady. It's okay that you missed a couple things. Just, work through it as easy as possible. You don't want to, it's not a job, right? We don't want to try to do everything within 1 week, because it kind of benefits the self-care or you stepping out. Just, take it easy. Don't overwhelm yourself. Like, I got to have all this done. It's to help you to incorporate a little bit of self-care in your daily life. So don't be too overwhelmed, sis. No, because I'm just now checking off mine right here in front of you. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Like I said, today, I did the wheel last week. Just a reminder, on the first Mondays of every month, we will not have a live, but I will post the topic for that month. So it gives me time to take a break too, because I can't just tell y'all to do self-care and I'm like, oh, I'm going every Monday. No, you gotta take a little break. I'm very interested to know, like, how has like y'all weeks been going though? How has everything been going? Feel free to definitely put it in the chat, just so we could check in with one another, because we all about that. How's it going with letting go of stress? How's it going with career choices? How's it going with just life in general? If it's overwhelming, say, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. If it's enlightening, say, I'm taking it at a time, take it through. For me, it is very enlightening, because I'm embarking on new things and going into a different phase now. I'm excited about boundaries because I'm still yet working on boundaries, but as you say, as I always tell you, like, as y'all going through things, I'm going through things too. I'm walking through it with you. So we're doing it together. We on it, we on the same page together. So without further ado, let me see if I can get it in here. Let me see if I can incorporate the slide in here, if it's going to work. Hopefully it works, because I've been really working on this. We've been working on a lot of stuff, but yeah, so we're going into the topic of boundaries. I'm going to see if it's going to upload. I didn't even check that out. But if not, we'll walk through it together and I'll just review it, or I could share my screen. That'll work too. But yeah, but as I'm waiting on this to load up, what have you all been? What's something new that you have discovered about yourselves since stepping out? What is something that you are ready for as we're gearing towards the end of, all? This is November. October is gone. This is November. So November and then 2025. So I'm very, I want to see how y'all are doing, with everything going on. Let me see. I think it's going to work. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, wait, one more. Is that it? Is it? Okay. All right. So, okay, we're going to go back because I wasn't aware of that. Okay. Oh, look at that. Messed up. Okay. But you get it. So today, I'm going to take that off the big screen. Okay. So today's topic we know is boundaries. We're going to be discussing boundaries. So what are boundaries, right? So boundaries are limits that you set for yourself to protect your personal space and emotions. As you see the wheel to the other side, boundaries can be physical. You can set physical boundaries. You can set sexual boundaries. You can set expectation boundaries, financial boundaries, time boundaries, emotional boundaries, intellectual boundaries, and verbal boundaries. All these boundaries are important to you. It's important to all of us. Why? It protects your space. It gives you a choice, and it sets the tone for the rest of your life, right? So going into boundaries, right? We have to understand that although all these things are important, but how does all these things look? So we're going to go into each one of these, as some of them will probably double up a little bit. We may hit on some, we may hit on not enough. But right now we're just doing the background of boundaries and how we can kind of like incorporate boundaries in our lives. But I don't even know, just me in general, and I don't know how many of you all have even known about all these boundaries, right? There's so many boundaries. I know about emotional boundaries and physical boundaries and somewhat financial boundaries, but I didn't know that all these different types of it's a lot of boundaries, right? And if we don't understand it, if we don't understand what it means or how it affects us, we're not going to be given much choice of anything. So I just want to, highlight on some of these things. Like the physical will, on the physical side, it said, I need this room for work. So physical boundaries, right? Understanding what you're able and what you're capable of doing. Am I saying that right? And the things that can take you away from that, right? So understanding that. So remember that we will also, go back over it as well. Now it's how to set boundaries, because we have all these boundaries, right? But how are you supposed to set these boundaries? What do these boundaries look like? And I love the graphic that is picked because it shows the little line, and it shows everybody has a line. Everybody has a line that should not be crossed. Everybody has a line as far as how far they will go. But what does that look like? How do you perfect that boundary that you have in order so that way the other person will understand it as well? So yeah, so that's like I said, I love the graphic of how to set boundaries. So you have one person on one side and the other person on the other side. This is how you establish a boundary. Okay. So how do you establish boundaries? Well, I'm glad you asked. It first starts with you, right? You need to establish your needs first. You need to establish what you want. What is it that you're looking for out of this boundary? These were really hard for me because I was not used to setting boundaries with anyone or anyone or anything. So I didn't really know that it does start with you, because you allow only so much, right? Because they remember that yellow line. That line is there for a reason. And if you figure out, okay, you know what, this is too much for me, no, you kind of cross that line, then guess what? Now that's a boundary. We don't think about that. When I feel like, oh, I don't feel like being bothered, and someone's continuously bothering me, pestering me, then they're crossing that boundary line. Like, you're doing something that I don't want you to do. So establish what it is that you need first, because you cannot tell somebody else what your boundary is or establish a boundary with them if you do not know what you want, because that even goes along with sexually. Remember, that was one of the boundaries: sexual boundaries, time boundaries, intellectual boundaries. All that goes into, you need to establish what it is that you want. The next one is speak up, right? This is something that is so hard because all for me, I grew up where I was very quiet in my home because we were taught, you don't speak unless you're spoken to, one. And of course, you can't, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Or feelings were never addressed within my household as far as like how I'm feeling. Like if I'm feeling like, oh, I'm not appreciated, or I'm feeling like I'm not loved, that I kind of kept to myself. So I kept my emotional things to myself. And that doesn't help anybody, because if they don't know, how are you going to establish things, right? So you have to communicate. Communicating is important. Speak up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. If it's something that you don't like, say it. I don't like when you say this. I don't like when this is what you said. I don't like that, right? So just establishing all these type of boundaries. Draw the line. Draw the line is safeguarding your space, right? So if you don't draw that line, most people say, oh, the line is invisible. Oh, it's invisible to you because you don't want to respect my boundaries. But it's not invisible to me. That line is there. And that line is there to protect my peace, protect my space, protect what it is that I need, right? And it's okay. Like we get offended when it's like that I, right? Because like, oh, there's no I in team. Oh, it's not all about you. But when it comes to your self-care and the person, yes, you are important, right? You are very much so important. So we need to make sure that we have that line drawn. Because if you don't have a line, how do the person know that they crossed it? Or how do you know that they're getting there? Draw that line. Be assertive. Be kind but firm. This is one of my challenges, because it's my challenge, because I'm like, for me to express how I feel, it's hard, because I feel like I have to, I'm not going to say be disrespectful. And we got to talk about that too. What is really disrespectful when it comes to your boundaries? Because most people think, oh, well, you're being disrespectful, because no, I'm establishing a boundary. Because you don't get it, that's what makes it disrespectful. But is it really disrespectful? No, it's not. It's you drawing that line. It's you creating that line, So understanding that as well, being assertive but firm, letting people know that, you know what, it's okay that you may think that that's okay for you, but for me it's not. Or sometimes you have to walk away. If it comes like it's a confrontation, like they're still not getting that you want your boundaries respected, some different forms of like how your boundaries sound, like, I'm not able to attend this year, and people should be able to respect that. Or I don't feel comfortable attending it, so and not having to justify why you're setting your boundaries. That's a big thing. You do not have to justify your boundary. Don't justify it. Just say what it is. If you can't make it, guess what? I can't make it. Not, oh, I can't. And I had a very bad, I felt like I had to always justify my reasoning. I grew up that way because my parents like, why? Why? Like, what is your reasoning why you're not doing this and that? And I had to, I'm learning. So I'm retracting and relearning some things that, you know what? I'm not going to justify. If I say no, I'm not going to make it. No, I'm not going to make it. If I say no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. That's just that. When people do not respect your boundaries, they want to know a reason why. When that reason why is not really necessary. For instance, on the job, you may say, oh, I can't come in today because I don't feel good, because I'm sick. I can't come in today because I'm sick. So you told them the reason. You said why. Well, what's wrong? That's you just, okay, now you want a reason why. What all to, like, you want a breakdown of how you know that I'm sick when I'm telling you that I'm sick. No, take that as that. I can't come in today because I'm sick, or whatever it is. But learning how to just let your word be your word without justification. That's a really big thing. And without feeling like you have to, you have to go all off. Most people are like that. I'm learning. Be assertive, but yet draw that line. Like, okay, if they don't understand, that's on them. That's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm not going to make nobody else's problem my problem. And last but not least, focus on you. Take time for yourself. It is very, very, very important that you take time for yourself. Boundaries are, I would say, like a breath of fresh air. But I'm learning that it is. It is, especially if you're establishing your peace. One of the things, as you see on the side, is that boundaries you set with yourself. So sticking to your budget, limiting yourself to 1 hour of television per day, no screen in your bedroom. One of the boundaries that I set that I'm still sticking to is I have a business phone and I have my personal phone. Neither phones are inside my room, inside my bedroom. That is a boundary that I have set for me, because I get so tired of, I don't get tired of it because, sometimes it's emergencies and you have to have your phone near, but I get tired of whenever I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing I grab. That's the first thing I grab is my phone, and I'm checking social media. I'm checking my emails. I'm checking what missed calls, what messages I have. I'm checking everything. But instead, like now, now when I wake up in the morning, since I set that boundary, now when I wake up in the mornings, I can sit there for a little bit. I take a deep breath. I breathe. I don't feel no type of overwhelmness, no type of anxiety, no type of stress. And sometimes I may doze back off and go back to sleep. Who knows? That's my business. It's up to me, right? But you have to set that boundary. Whereas if I think it's now, my volumes are on. My husband, he has his alarm. We praying for him because he still don't know how to set. We still work on him and setting boundaries with his phone, because one thing I even have to learn too is what time do I cut off my phone, right? What time do I set to put my phone in the next room? So for me, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, because that's the time I normally put my children to bed. Between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, my phone needs to be in the kitchen charging. That's where it's going to be until I get out of bed and do whatever I need to do. That's where it's going to stay. So establish those boundaries. That's really important, especially for it's good for your mental health. No one ever talks about how that could be, how just your phone can play a big deal in your mental health, because you wake up, we see these bloggers, we see these these social media content creators that are like posting their daily lives, right? And sometimes it can be overwhelming because it's like you begin to be envious because they have things that you don't. Man, they could just get up and go. They have this, they are so productive today, but you don't know because guess what? Just as they're recording, they can fast forward 2 times, they can cut out pieces of the video, they can put that to the side, insert something else, anything. Like it's not like this, like it's live, right? So if like you see me, my nose is running, so guess what? I have to take care of that. Or if I can't edit that out, you actually see my day life, like nothing is in edits. And but at the same time, like when it comes to social media for me, it was a weakness because I would be like, oh dang, they have this. Or even when it comes to your life, right? When it comes to your life, and people may have, you may see your friends on social media, high school friends, and they, oh my gosh, they making buco money. And here you are still settling at the same job you've been at, and that brings on anxiety, that brings on stress. So we have to eliminate that, right? We have to eliminate all that. So by doing that, we put it to the side. That's my boundary. My phone goes to the side. So if I miss your phone call, and I'm gonna tell you, I take Sundays. So Sundays, because we are Sabbath worship keepers, we worship on Saturdays, and so Sundays are literally my days of rest. And yesterday I wasn't feeling my best, but I was able to sleep. And that was really, it wasn't rare for me, but I just dozed off. I didn't even realize I was asleep. I just slept. And that's okay. Because you have to know how to take a day, setting boundaries. Realize people may call you like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you come here? Hey, what's your plan? Or are you at home? Can I come by? No, you cannot. I'm off. This is my free day. Throughout Monday through Friday, you got me until Friday sundown. Then it comes Shabbat. And then after Saturday midnight and Saturday sundown, you may have me for maybe a couple hours, but on that Sunday, I'm chilling. I'm resting. If I choose to hang out, it's because I want to hang out. That's my choice. That's my prerogative, right? And you should be able to understand that's your choice too. Focus on yourself. So how do you set your boundaries? It starts with you. You establish your needs first. You speak up. You draw the line. Be assertive and focus on you, right? Another thing that we talked about, right, is the circles, right? This was like my biggest thing. And I'm telling you, I'm still trying to figure out these circles, right? And who's in my circle, who's not in my circle. I'm still trying to figure it out, right? But when it comes to setting boundaries, you have to know who is pouring into you, who is not pouring into you. And then you have to fit them accordingly, right? So remembering that on the previous slide, it starts with you. So you come first, right? So that's why we have the little arrow that's pointing to the person you, because it starts with you. You define who your support system is. If you figure out that, you know what, mom and dad don't support me like I support them, sister, friend, best friend, cousin, whoever you close to, your bestest friend, right? Could be your bestest friend, but if they don't pour into you, they may not be in that inner circle. They may not be in your circle, right? And the reason with the defining my circle is because I wanted everybody to fit in my inner circle. I wanted everybody to fit because if you ask anybody about me, I love everybody. I like helping everybody. I like to be there. Hence the field that I chose. I just love working with people. I love helping everybody and being there for people, right? So it's kind of hard to fit everybody in that circle. But then I began to realize, okay, I began to go through what that support looks like. What will help my circle be more firm? First of all, trust yourself. You know, we talked about that. You come first, trust yourself. Trust that whatever decisions you make, that who's actually in your circle, don't feel no regrets. Don't backpedal. Don't do any of that. You know exactly if that person has been there for you. You know it. Don't play no games. You know that your cousin that has always called you for $50 every 2 weeks or every month, you know you ain't got that $50 back. You know that you continue to pour into them, but they're not pouring into you. So you know what? That cousin, although I love them, might have to go in the outer circle because they're not helping me. They're not benefiting me right now. Or it could be in the middle circle. I don't know. Right. A person that respects your boundaries, right? So a person is not going to go combative with you and tell you, oh, why are you doing this? Oh, why are you doing that? Oh, or I'm your family and you're supposed to do. Nothing comes before you and God, of course, but nothing comes before you. Your self-care, your help, the things that you need to accomplish, the things that you need to take care of. Because like I said, we did the picture challenge, right? I challenged the picture example. If you pour into everybody else and there's nothing left for you, who's going to fill you up? Who will fill you up? You need a person that's in your inner circle that brings you peace and who will show up for you. So not only that person that's in your inner circle is not always you pouring into them, you showing up for them. Oh, they got an event going on. Oh, guess what? I'm going to show up for them. Oh, they have this going on. I don't think I turned my mic on you all. I just thought about it. Okay. I don't know if that was right. Okay. But yeah, but you don't know who shows up for you, right? So with that, I just see my dial on my computer. It was like, it wasn't on. So y'all probably hear me a lot clearly now. And of course, I'll go back over the slides for those that couldn't hear. So yeah, so we have this, who shows up for you. So if they don't show up for you, are you about to put them in your inner circle? If they can't answer your phone call when you may be really needing it, knowing that if you're not a person that asks for a lot and you call somebody and they're not there for you, you may need to reevaluate your circle and where these people lie. I'm not going to give y'all my circle, because that's your own personal. Like, people don't need to know where they fit. They know where they fit in your life. You don't have to tell them like, oh no, you ain't in my inner circle, boo. You in my outer circle. You ain't got to do that. You know, they already know based off how they carry on. They know exactly that whenever you call, they don't pick up the phone. But whenever they call you, they know that you always answering. That's not going to bring you peace. That's going to bring you a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And you see my disclaimer at the bottom. Do not be surprised if some people didn't make the inner cut. It's not about them. It's about you. Who shows up for you? Who brings you peace? Who respects your boundaries? Who pours into you? It ain't about nobody else. So if they don't do it, they back burner. That's why my circle, the little circle that you see that shows the little you, my circle is probably smaller than that. Probably the O that's inside the you of how small my circle was for a good while. But now, like, I have learned that I have layers of circles that, some people can be in, some people can't. Them distant cousins that only talk to probably around the holidays or whatever, guess what? No, out of circle. I don't deal with you. We're not putting up a front. We're not being fake. That's what we're not doing. That's what Shonda is never. Shonda will never be fake. And that's one thing I love being honest. I love being open. I love being, being transparent with people. And I'm going to let you know, like, if you call me out the blue, people know that I will show up. I have always been that person that shows up for people when they need me. If you call me and be like, hey, such and such going on, if it's something that you really seriously need me for, now a party, you may not get me. But if it's like something like, hey, I'm really having an emergency, can you be here? Can you come help? Like, I just need a day out. Can you be there? Say less. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Where you want to go? Where you want to chill at? Like, that's what we're going to do. But they know. You don't have to do that, though. Don't do that. Be able to discern. And that's what discernment comes on. Being able to discern where these people are in your circle. If you know they're just using you, and if you know that they're actually pouring into you, you're pouring into them, they respect your boundaries, and they bring you peace, by all means. They could be in the inner circle, the middle circle, outer circle, whatever circle that you choose. That's on you. That's between you and your peace. Now, if they bring you in heaven, that's on you, right? So, what do healthy boundaries look like, right? I love this picture because it shows you a little calm state. It's like a namaste, I guess. I don't really know. But it shows you how like everything is like in flow. You got the music, but she seems like so at peace. Your healthy boundaries it's gonna make other people uncomfortable, right? It always does. And that's one thing I really, really want to speak on, right? So if it makes somebody else uncomfortable, don't make that your problem, right? Don't make it your problem that they're uncomfortable. That's their problem. Your problem is to make sure that your boundaries are not being taken advantage of. Make sure that your boundaries are being respected. So if it's, hold on, let me see. So healthy boundaries these are what healthy boundaries should look like. It should be uncomfortable for you because it's something that especially if it's something that you're not used to. So for me, setting boundaries is very uncomfortable for me because I wasn't used to doing it. I wasn't used to setting boundaries with people. I just let people, oh, you need me to come? I would run myself crazy trying to do for other people before I did for myself. I poured into so many people and I was literally drained. So it should be uncomfortable. You should know this first thing. It should be uncomfortable because healthy thing, all the healthy things, they may not taste good, but then they're healthy for you, right? Yeah, that's that uncomfortability. Healthy boundaries acknowledges your personal space. So if a person is acknowledging your personal space, they're that boundary, right? They're helping incorporating your boundaries that you're set for yourself. It shouldn't conflict. It shouldn't like be like you going sit for tat. It should acknowledge your personal space. It should also determine how much your personal life you determine. Healthy boundaries is you determine how much your personal life is available to people. We get into this people pleasing state, and that's what we're going to talk about next time, right? People pleasing, because people pleasing is really serious. Like we don't talk about that enough. And we discussed this a good minute. But people pleasing is a part of is how you set boundaries, because a lot of times I made myself so uncomfortable, but not in a good way, because I felt like I needed to, by my personal business, I felt in order to fit in. You remember that quote? Why are you trying to fit in when you're born to stand out? I would always try to fit in. And so I would talk about everything. I would talk about my personal life, my husband, my children, just so I could be relatable. But if you telling your now, don't get me wrong, when it comes to like women, and helping empowering women, and they need, to know that they're not alone. Of course, I'm gonna sit and talk one-on-one. We go sit and talk about it. But when it comes to discussing your personal business in the wrong crowd, in the wrong people, with the wrong people, who's gonna take that stuff and turn it into mess and drama. Boundary. You need a boundary. You need a boundary. You need a boundary. Everybody don't have to know everything. I have become so quiet. I love this song Quiet because it says, let Yahweh speak through the silence. I have learned how to be quiet so much. I don't have to say a peep. But people are used to me pleasing them by telling them what's going on in my family, because it's just like it becomes natural, right? Like you just talking and blabbing, and you don't even realize you're in the wrong company of people trying to tell your stuff to. Your circles, that's where your circles come into play. That's where your circles come into play. If they're not in your inner circle and they're not gonna help you, if you pouring into them all this information, how are they gonna pour into you? Are they gonna help you with your situation? My children, my oldest daughter is in kindergarten, and I'm telling everybody, about her personal business. Are they going to help her? No. If they're not gonna help, why am I telling you my business? I'm not about to do it. No, we're just not, right? So healthy boundaries should be clear and firm. Healthy boundaries should build your confidence. I have so much confidence. I'm telling y'all, it's life changing. It's life changing. Healthy boundaries, you should understand what you want and need. With healthy boundaries, like I said at the beginning, specifying what you want, communicate. If nobody else knows what you want, how are you gonna tell them, no, I can't make it to the family thing because of this? How you gonna tell them, I appreciate the invite, but this year I'll be staying home? How you gonna do that? If you don't know what you want, like, oh, well, you second guessing yourself. I'm saying it from experience. When I know that it's a boundary that I'm crossing or a boundary that's going to limit me, I feel I'm always thinking in my head versus if I tell somebody, oh yeah, I'll be there for sure. And it's something I really want to do, how eager and earnest it is, right? But if I'm hesitant about it and I'm like, I'll think, listen to those words. Or people are like, oh, I don't know. They don't want to come. They don't want to do it. They just don't leave them alone. You have to understand and respect people's space, but you have to know what you want. If you really don't want to do something, you don't have to. It is your choice. We are taught choices from a young age, that we have the choice. We have a right to choose what we want and what we don't want, who we allow in our space, who we don't want in our space. You have that choice. So understand what you want and what you need before is a part of healthy boundaries. The next thing, I went too far. Time for yourself. Healthy boundaries is taking time out for yourself to establish peace. I love the scenario at the bottom that shows the two people that actually set boundaries, like they have their circles. Cause like, okay, I'm in my own, that I love those types of people in my life, right? The people that have their boundaries and I have mine, because they won't conflict. Like if I have a friend that she know her boundaries and her limitations, like she ain't about to stay at home and chill, or he know that he not about to go. So then they'll understand. Like for me, I love like other moms, right? Other moms understand the life of a mom. They understand the life of a mom, and so to speak, in retrospect, that if my sister calls me, if my blood sister Niecy calls me, and we're talking on the phone, and my daughter is screaming in the background, she's not gonna be like, oh, let me call you back because that's a lot of noise in the background. She ain't gonna do that. My sister has two children of her own. So she understands the life of being a mom. She understands that children are gonna cry, but you have to know how to, oh, like, girl, let me go to the other room. Oh, girl, they understand, oh, what's wrong with the baby? This and that. People that understand your situation. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to diminish yourself. You could just be who you are. That's what that last picture represents. When you have the two people that have set boundaries for themselves, there is no conflict. There, I can hear other people. For me, I can hear other people. Before I became a mom, I'm like, oh, girl, let me call you back later. So like, you got your hands full. Now I don't like people that tell me I got my hands full, because you don't think I know that. But at the same time, like, what are you gonna do to help me? You not. But for me, I'm like, oh, well, put the phone, put me on speaker. Let me see them. Hey, so I'm trying to help them to calm the baby down or calm the child down. What's wrong? What happened at school? That is two people that understand. You need people that understand in your life. The other picture that I have at the bottom left, shows of you in your boundaries and how people come, right? People come from all different ways. They want to, like, oh, I got this I need you to do. Everybody has something for you to do. That's what that red one come in at. Healthy boundaries, you don't allow others to take advantage of you. You don't do it. Don't allow other people to take advantage of the person that you are, of who you to take advantage of you. Because people know that I'm a nice person, people know that I will be there for them. They know they can call me. When people know who to call and who not to call. Like if you were in a dire need right now, do you know who to call? I do. If I was in a situation where I really, really, really needed some guidance or some help, or I needed something, or I needed some help financially, I know exactly who to call. I know who to call if I want them to tell me exactly what I want to hear. That's not gonna put me in my place and tell me, "Oh no, girl, you wrong." I know exactly who to call. So don't allow others to take advantage of you. Establish that healthy boundaries is you're not going to allow them to do that. You won't allow them to do that. Now, I'm like, oh no, I gave you $20 last month and you ain't gave it back to me. No, thank you. Oh no, you are in a cycle where you competitively keep asking me for money, but how are you going to help you? I'm only hindering you. I'm not helping you. It has to come to a stop, right? So you have to know those boundaries. The next slide has what is a boundary breach? Oh, that picture at the bottom. You see that see that person crossing over that line? That's what people try to do. They still try to do it to me, but you know, I'm hip. I'm hip to it now because I know, right? I know exactly what it is when they try to see if they can breach your boundary. Like, oh, well, she ain't gonna stand on her boundaries too long. The quote says, if you allow people to disrespect you and breach your boundaries, they are not the problem. You are. They know exactly what they're doing, but they want to test you and see if you and not stand on your boundaries. That's all it is. They go test. Because they not, you remember that the first slide, the yellow line, and one person on one side and one person on the other side, and they didn't cross that threshold. And this person is trying to see how far. You have those people that are trying to see how far they can go. We're not doing no boundary breaches in here. No, we're not. So it says boundary breach, have difficulty saying no to other people's requests. That is an identification of boundary breach. You're dependent on the other person's opinion, depending on the opinions of others. So if you say something, or you're not really going through something, but if you say something and you're waiting to see, you know, them people that like they wait to get a crowd so they can, they test out the room with whatever they want to say and see if somebody's going to react, and they wait on that person to react. That's it. Is depend on the opinions of others. That's even with your personal information, like you saying just to get what they're going to say. Boundary breach, because you have to have a threshold. Fear of rejection if you don't comply with others. How many of y'all have experienced that? I'm being very honest. I dealt with that fear for so long, of fear of rejection for so long, that if I didn't do what people told me to do, if I didn't do what I was asked or told, because I didn't never think that I had a choice. I never thought that I had a choice. Never did. So because that option, that choice was taken away from me, I complied with what other people said because I feared of being rejected. Like they wouldn't like me. They wouldn't talk to me. This is that. Boundary breach. Guess what now? I don't care. I'm in so much peace. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you don't want to talk to me. I don't care if my phone doesn't ring. My phone is not near me anyway. So guess what? Toodles, right? Another boundary breach is overshare personal info just to feel included. Share stuff you ain't got no business, and I don't know if y'all feel that, but most times I have this feeling in my gut that like I done said too much, and I be like, oh dang, I shouldn't have said that. I don't know if y'all get that, like that conscience that comes in, and I feel that way. I'm like, oh my gosh, I spoke too much. I said too much. I shouldn't have said that, or they didn't need to know all that information. I get that. And that's a good thing for me because I know when to talk and when not to talk. My husband is not the type to be like, oh, you said too much. He ain't gonna say that. I have to convict myself when I feel like I done said too much because he ain't gonna tell me. But manipulating someone to do things they wouldn't normally do. Boundary breach. You have to set that line. You have to set that line. Because if you don't, what's the other one? If you don't stand for something or fall for anything, I'm not falling for the okie doke no more. I'm not. Because I'm not gonna be the problem. You gonna be the problem. You're gonna be uncomfortable. I'm not gonna be uncomfortable anymore. I'm at peace. I'm good. And that's the way it's gonna be, right? So the next slide says, what are the benefits of setting boundaries? And we're kind of bringing this to a close, right? Just for this moment. What are the benefits of setting boundaries? It's a strategy, which is why we have the little chess. I'm not a chess player, but my husband plays chess and his family, people, whoever I know play chess. I just don't. But what are the benefits of setting boundaries? Less stress. That's a good one. It improves your mental health. It prevents burnout. It improves self-esteem. And my favorites, it gives you peace. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoy a bit of peace. I think right now, since graduated, I enjoy too much peace. But guess what? I'm not stressed. My self-esteem is up. My mental health is up. And I did feel burned out. I'm not burnt out anymore. Because you have to pick and choose what you allow. You have the choice. You have the choice. It's up to you. What you want to do is up to you, right? All right. So to help out with these boundaries, right? So I have the book on the boundaries book. I found inside Barnes and Noble, and I'm waiting for mine to get delivered. But I just want to share some books that could help, especially with helping you set boundaries. That line again in between boundaries. And then you have Set Boundaries, Find Peace. That's actually a book that I do have. Have I started reading it? No, because it's a new month. So hopefully I'll be, somewhere in the middle by the end of the month. So this is my book for the month. That's what we're going to do. So every month we're going to have a book too that's going to go whatever discussion that we're reading, and we can read it together. It'd be like our own little virtual book club. How you like that, right? And this is all about building each other up. We want to be able to build each other up because why? We deserve it. And to know that we're not alone. So this is the book I have gotten already. Set Boundaries, Find Peace. So far, I've heard that it's been really, really good. I actually follow the author on Instagram, on the Step Out Instagram page. She's really, really good. I encourage y'all to go follow her too. She has some great insight. I think she's also a therapist as well. So yeah, those are the two books that you can go back and read into a little bit more, just to kind of help you, figure out a little bit more boundaries. I might have more information for next time, right? And then, right, if all else fails, don't be afraid to seek help. It's okay to seek help. If you feel like this is overwhelming and trust me, I'm not shy to seeking help. Someone that I can talk to help encourage me, like, okay, I'm having trouble with this inner circle, this out. Go find somebody to talk to. Mental health therapists are crucial because mental health matters all day, every day, right? So I encourage you all to definitely do not ignore your boundaries. If we go back of how it all starts with you, we will get into more on ways that you can, like the things that you can say that'll kind of like help you build those boundaries. So we'll go more often to that next time. of how you can be, because what's the word? We want to be kind but firm. So we'll go more into the being assertive part of boundaries, right? I'm gonna jot it down so we can remember. Um, being assertive in your boundaries and being firm. So remember that it starts with you. Establish what you need first. Don't go to people and be like, oh, well, this, and that. You have to know, even if you have to write down. For me, I know I showed y'all my sticky notes that it's okay to say no. It's okay. Just breathe. It's okay. Like the sticky notes that I encourage us to do is very so much important because it helps you. It helps you to be able to tell people no. It helps you to be able to tell people, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not discussing this. Or even if you need to walk away from something. My biggest thing was now I tell people I'm focusing on my mental health. I'm about to tell you what it is, but during this time of my peace, working on myself, I'm working on my mental health. This piece, this break I'm taking is something I need to do. So I encourage you all to definitely, as we're coming to an end, I hope you all enjoyed this. And I thought that it would be great to have like some things to follow through. Just don't just be me talking, right? I don't know. I get tired of myself talking sometimes. I get tired of me talking sometimes. So I just wanted to show some little a little presentation just to kind of like um help you through it, just so you can see it. If you don't, I'm a visual person myself. So the visual helps to kind of enforce what it is that you're trying to say. So yeah. So this is the beginning of how we set boundaries. I hope you all will continue to set boundaries and we can definitely discuss next time on what boundaries you have started of leaving you establish your what is it you want out of your boundaries, like what is it that you expect to get out of it. um yeah, but yeah, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you all on next Monday at 6 p.m. as we further discuss boundaries. Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go into a word of prayer and we will dismiss our end. So Yahweh, we thank you for this day. We thank you for life, for the strength. Thank you for all the ways you made and all the doors you opened. Thank you for this month's discussion on boundaries, Heavenly Father. I ask you to help us to be assertive in our thinking, to be firm, but to be nice as well, to also establish what it is that we need and we want with our boundaries, to develop more peace, more mental health awareness, more assertiveness, more confidence within ourselves, actually to build them up where they're torn down in. Those that are having problems or issues with setting boundaries when it comes to family or friends or loved ones, Heavenly Father, actually to give them the right direction that you would have them to go. Yeah. I ask you to continue to bless them throughout this week, continue to give them favor on their jobs, continue to protect and keep them across the highways and the byways to the various destinations. Meet them at the destination before they get there, and it all be found where they're in. I ask that you bless each and every young lady that has joined in or tuned in, actually to touch their lives and to help them to be able to touch someone else's life, but also to be able to create boundaries, to set boundaries for them to develop more and more self-care. I should continue to build their confidence, continue to build their boldness, continue to build their self-esteem, continue to build their self-worth. I should continue to be there for them and their families and their nations, Heavenly Father. In Yeshua's mighty name. Amen. And thank y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. I will see y'all on Monday.
We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I quiet, quiet. God is here, God has given me. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm walking in